Welcome back, YouTube. It is a great day to be different. So that's what we are going to do today. We're going to show you guys how to be different. We have a taper fade undercut for you guys today. As you can see right here, we're going to start off by brushing, combing, laying everything down. We're searching for any type of inconsistencies or anything that's going to prevent us from giving this man a nice haircut. Yes, sir. Lay everything down. This is going to help us separate the long hair from the short hair as well for precision. And we're going to go ahead with the one guard closed, and we are going to debulk the front of the lineup. It's important that you guys pay attention to this stage because I am starting off with the one guard closed. We're going to see what the hair gives me. Make sure it's laying down. I'm going to hit him with the hairspray. Get the edge up to freeze. That way when we come back for the lineup process, it will melt right on off. Now here is the reason why I started off with the one guard, to see what it was going to give me, because I then switched to the 0.5, the half guard, second notch, using the claw method to debulk the rest of the head. Now if you guys notice, this is important because as you can see, it does not make it any less dark. It's the same length as the one guard closed with the half guard second notch. I like to use the half guard claw method simply because it allows me to get a little bit more precise, especially between the long hair and the short hair and behind the ears. Very, very important. Now the work behind the ears isn't that easy. It's not as easy to get back there with the one guard, so I like to switch to the half guard. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the fading process. So we're gonna set it in our first guideline. No guard all the way open. We're gonna go up about an inch, as you can see right there. Then we're gonna switch over to the half guard after that line is set in, and we're gonna go right into the detail process. You can see represented down there at the bottom right with the feather. We're using our feather technique, using nothing but your corners. As you can see how over exaggerated and tilted the clipper is, we are attacking, notching out that guideline. We're not setting in another line, so that is why I am feathering, because we don't want to set in another line. We're just gonna feather out the line that's already in there. As you can see how easy that came out. Then we're going to switch to the no guard. We're going to start off closed, work our way up midway, and then eventually all the way open. As you can see right there. Still continue with the feather technique. And if you do have to go back to a previous step, I highly recommend. No need to chase a fade if you don't have to. Go back to the previous step, feather out, and then continue on with your fade, man. As you can see right here. There's nothing but detail work. Hit, brush, hit, brush, hit, brush. Yes, sir. And there goes your fade. Was this part necessary at all right here behind the ears? Man, you guys will see later on. I believe it was. Hitting that hairspray behind the ear makes a huge difference, especially when it comes to lining up. It will get that hair. You guys let me know in the comments. Do you guys have any issues with lining up behind the ears? I feel like I'm just now getting to the point where I am comfortable with lining up behind the ears and getting it exactly how I want it to look. But it took me quite some time to get there. And I've used different techniques, claw method, using hairspray, using different trimmers. Certain trimmers just do better behind the ears as well. But you guys let me know in the comments what's your weak spots. I believe behind the ear was a very, very weak spot for me for a long time, which is why it's important that I'm putting this in the video, because I believe I found the trick. As you can see right there, I threw on some more hairspray right behind the ear to get that part to freeze. That way, whenever I do come back to line that up, it should melt off, and you guys will see here a little bit later on down in the video. It should be very similar to this part on the edge up, but here goes the edge up part. Welcome back to the edge up part. We're gonna start off right in the middle. We're gonna walk it to the left side. Does not matter which side you walk it to first. Me, I'm normally standing on the left side of the head just based off of the way my station is set up. We're going to use the middle of the head as a reference point. And again, we're going to go right back to the middle, and then we're going to walk it to the right side to get it to match the left. As you can see right there. We did use the hairspray. We did prep with the hairspray earlier to get this lineup to freeze, and it should be melting off just like it is now with no issues. Always referencing back to the middle of the forehead. Gonna make sure it's nice and even. And then we're gonna move on to the enhancement stage. I started off not using any wet enhancements on this one for some reason. I don't know why. But we went right into the dry stage, but you'll see here in a minute that I did have to go back to the basics using the wet enhancements. I would recommend you guys lay a wet foundation first. That way that the dry can stick. We're gonna attack this vertical bar. And here you go right here. We're gonna hit them with the wet enhancement. I couldn't get the dry enhancements to stick on the vertical bar. So I had to pull out the wet enhancements, and boom, as you can see right there, the dry stuck right to it with no issues. You're gonna make sure that the vertical bar is in there. Hit the corner, slap some pencil on it for some contour, get it to pop. We're gonna hit them with some hot sauce. It's gonna allow me to push that pencil over, as you'll see right here. It's gonna slide right on over. Give it that razor blade effect without having to use a razor, especially how tiny his vertical bars are. That is very important. I had to pull out the sabers to use that small blade, because that is how small his vertical bars are. As you can see, that small blade takes up the entire vertical bar with one stroke. Pause. Same thing on the other side. Punch in that vertical bar. We're going to use a wet foundation, which I should have did for the entire enhancement process, but we skipped it for some reason. Set in the wet foundation, get the fibers to stick, follow right on up with the dry enhancements. It's gonna get rid of that wet shiny look. Very important for pictures and very, very important for videos like this. You're gonna throw some pencil on them for some contour, get it to pop, slap some hot sauce on them. It's gonna allow me to push that pencil over just like that. Give it that nice razor blade effect without having to use a razor blade, and allow me to clean up any overspray of the wet or dry enhancements. Boom. Yes, sir. Here goes a better angle. That looks good. You guys let me know what enhancements you guys like to use. I'm stuck with the 245 wet enhancements and the level 3 dry enhancements. They both complement each other very well. They go together very well, and they get the job done, man. Now here goes the back. I'm gonna let you guys have it, and we will be back for the lineup behind the ears, so you guys can let me know whether the hairspray was worth it or not. All right. Now we're back behind the ears. As you can see, butter. Now this is the effect that throwing the hairspray behind the ears will do for you. As you can see, it even left kind of a ash line, but The hair does not move. It's frozen. It's stuck. Look at this. Using just the corner of the blade, absolutely melted off. Look at that. Smooth. Now that made the back of the taper and the side taper just come completely together. Completely together. I didn't even have to go over this multiple times. For me, sometimes I like to be a perfectionist, so I will go over the line multiple times just to make sure that it's good to go. But you guys saw how those first strokes, pause, really did the job. Boom, the hair's not moving. It allows me to create that nice little contoured curve around the ear right there. Again, nice little ash line. Same thing on the other side right here. I did use the hairspray on this side as well. We're gonna punch that in. Absolutely melts off. The hair's not moving, especially when you're using the corner right here. But look, now was the hairspray necessary? I believe so. I believe it worked just as good as it does on the lineup. The important part is to allow it to dry. Look at that. Nice, beautiful curve around the ear. Even a nice little ash mark. I'm gonna tilt them back to punching those lines. And the eyebrows, you know these youngsters, like, they love the eyebrow parts, man. There goes a few tips right here. We're gonna punch that in. Me, I like to use the pencil as well, as you can see right here, just to get it to pop a little bit more, give it a much more contoured look. Make sure it's punched in there. We're gonna blend it in just a little bit more. You guys see that taper from this angle too. Sheesh. And then I'm gonna brush out most of the pencil, as you can see right there. It looks really, really good, and it makes those eyebrows pop. Same thing on the other side. Punching the line, throw some pencil on it for some contour, blend it in with the trimmers, and then we're gonna brush out the rest of the pencil that we do not like. Boom. It's like applying makeup, man. But you guys remember what he came in looking like. Yes, sir. You guys remember. What he come to do? Came to be different. Sheesh. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is crispy. Appreciate you guys for staying tuned. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, do whatever you guys got to do, man, to keep you on your timeline. It's crispy, and that is crispy. We out of here. Peace.